So if Liverpool are going about their business, we've talked about how important that depth is, and it's playing a factor.
Fabinho's starting to play a bigger role as opposed to what he did at the beginning of the season.
I think he's getting acclimatized to the league as well, which takes some
it was always
players
interesting
a little
because
bit more time than others.
You always wondered if he would be able to fit the pace and the dynamic of a Liverpool team, especially coming off the back of last season, because everybody associated Liverpool as the pressing side.
Yep.
You got to press. And I think that they almost started, I don't want to say started the wave, but Klopp was one of the central figures of this whole day and age where you press from the front. Everybody presses as a unit. But now they've scaled that back and they press more so, I'd call it a half press.
Right.
Where they let you build out the back and then press you into mistakes. And I think that works better for Fabinho. I don't know how he would work in a full-on pressing team, just because I don't know if his pace can dictate that all game for 38 games of the year. So I think he's slowly getting accustomed, and it's nice now that they have the ability to go to a Shaqiri off the bench, play a little bit differently, maybe play with a two-man midfield, let Shaqiri play in that central role a little bit, or even Keita. The last couple of weeks, Keita's been a lot better.
Yep.
He was having another player who was having a rough beginning of the season. You always got to give these players at least one season to really get acclimatized. But they have that depth this season where last year it was the same 11, same 12 that they would continuously roll out there.
This year they got a little bit of depth.
And at some point you're going to burn out. Mm-hmm. We've seen it with the Napoli sides. We've seen it. Liverpool had a very good run near the end, but it was eventually going to fade. And this season things look to be just a tad bit different. And I'd say they look, I'm almost going to use a weird word, but they look more mature.
Yes. And I think that's I don't think that's a wrong word. I think you've nailed it on the head. 1 year, most of those guys were on this team last year. They've gone through this already 1 year. I think mature is the right word, and I think if Liverpool can keep this run going and they're going to put a little bit of pressure on City, you know what? We could have a race to the end, which would be nice to have a league that is entertaining all the way from start to finish.
Agreed. Are people finally gonna give Klopp some credit on how his ability to develop players?
I think they've always done that. I feel like if you look at his history from Mainz to Dortmund to now, I mean, when you look at Dortmund, no one prior was talking about Lewandowski or Götze or Gundogan at the time.
But does he? I don't feel like he doesn't get that credit like Pep does. Like, granted, Pep is on a whole different level, but in terms of developing players, like, he's taken Trent and Robertson and turned them into quality players. Mane and Salah were forgotten players. Firmino, he brought them in and turned them into. He's revitalized Milner. Like, he's done if you look at individually, if you sort of go player by player, he's done very well to change some of those careers, revitalize some of those careers, and just in general, he's done very well.
I think he's probably just behind Pep in that area as a manager. I think he's still, to be classified as a great manager, he's missing those titles. And until he wins some big titles, I think he's still going to be behind the other managers.
He won't be in the upper echelon of managers.
No, I think he's in one level below.
Yeah, and he's probably at the top of that level. Yeah, that's the biggest gripe here. That's the biggest gripe I've had. Win the league. And not even win the league. Not even win the league. I don't even put it that far. Win a cup.
Yeah.
Win a cup. You're already knocked out of Carabao Cup. So win the FA Cup. You know, or at least the amount of times you get to the Europa League final, win it. You know, we're not like Champions League, Premier League. Obviously, right now, it's very tough for them to do. If they were to do it, bigger bonus. His stock rises to a whole new level.
Oh, absolutely.
But God, tell me you can't win the Carabao Cup. You can't win the FA Cup.
Group of players.
You go to the Europa League final and you blow it.
Yeah,
like that is where you get. That is why you're not there yet. And I think that's the biggest problem. That's where Liverpool needs to get. Now They have the depth. They have the players that were excelling last year, still producing at that level quietly, because now they expect more from Salah. Mane will still deliver when you need him to. Firmino is the key cog to that side. But, you got Van Dijk back there. So the pieces are there. You form the pieces. And now, what I've been saying from the start is now you have to produce.
Yeah.
It's no longer about how you do it. And I think that's what he's realized. It's not about how you do it now. It's about getting it done.
Yep.
So that is where I go with Liverpool. That's why I watch them week by week. And it's like, okay, you're showing us that. So we can't kill you. And we probably won't kill you even when you lose your first game, unless you get killed. So I'm happy that they're in this race, and everyone knows how I feel. Not how I feel about Liverpool. But yeah, I'm happy that they're in the race, and I hope they push City till the end. And if they were to win it, that would be a big boost for the Premier League. And it would put a backpedal on Pep, and it would force him to get better as well.
Yeah.
And force them to get better. And it could lead to something because some people would say that at Bayern, Pep had a bit of the advantage because of the financial boost that they have over there and the players that he had over there against Klopp. Well, now Klopp has been given the money.
Yep.
So there are no more excuses. Whether you could get the players that Pep gets, and I don't think Pep has gone and we talked about this last week. I don't think Pep has gone and got the world's best players.
Yeah.
He's actually gone and got out some young players and are developing them. So now there are no more excuses because the playing field is about level because you spent your money this summer.
Yeah.
You got what you wanted. So
speaking of that, do you see them potentially with the Gomez injury going out in January and getting a center back?
I think it depends on where they are.
No.
Or do they roll with Lovren and Matip?
They
No,
roll.
no.
Yeah, they roll with them.
You think so?
I would, if you were going to say Van Dijk went down too, then I say, okay, well, maybe we got to readjust what we're saying. But yeah, they keep them. Van Dijk, for as much as I don't think as much as people want to say he's probably the best, because that how the English media is going to roll with that. He's up there. And whoever he plays with, just like another center back we're going to get to a bit later, he makes them better. So, and we've seen it. We've seen Lovren play this season with Van Dijk, and they haven't really looked shaky.
Nope.
And we've seen Matip play. They haven't looked shaky. If anything, the only guy that looks shaky back there is the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
On occasion.
Yeah.
So, no, I don't think they need to buy another center back. I don't think they need to rush that. And Gomez just got the bag, so shout out to him.
Yeah.
5 years.
2024.
Good for him.
Yep.
He's been very well. That's Fab's guy.
Foden too. He got his contract.
Good for him too.
Good for him.